What are some dark truths about modern dating, and what are the things that you should avoid and watch out for? Voiced by Reddit Rabbit. Some people have been taught what to expect from a person but not how to treat them. Some people have been taught how to treat a person but not what to expect from them. And it's absolutely terrible when those two people meet. My ex used to complain about my shortcomings, and it took me a while to realize I wasn't that bad. Sometimes I feel like people in the first camp gravitate to people in the second because of what we can give to them. I've had multiple friends and partners like that, and it's left me with squishy boundaries, anxiety about being good enough, overextending myself to try to be what everyone around me needs all the time, and terrified to ever ask for anything from anyone. It's hard to unlearn that toxic shit. I hope you're in a better place now with people who treat you as you deserve. The best combination is when two people from the second camp meet, and both have higher expectations for how much they give compared to how much their partner gives. I saw somewhere else on Reddit a poster writing, "A good relationship isn't 50-50, but rather 60-40, where both of you are fighting to be the 60. That really resonates with me. Yeah, but let's face it, these relationships are extremely rare. I don't think so. I think the problem is that sometimes no matter how much we give, if it isn't the part they want, it will never be enough. Many people have given so much to someone who didn't appreciate it, not because they wanted more, but because the part they really needed wasn't something you knew how to give. Or vice versa. It sucks to watch someone run themselves ragged, trying to make you love them, but you can't not because you want more, but because you need something different. I've seen two givers fail to make each other happy, and I've seen two greedy people love each other intensely. Give all that you can, but first make sure what will have to give it's what they want. And if you find someone that gives you what you need, don't fuck it up by trying to keep score. With the advent of online dating, it's become a revolving door situation for most people. Dates start to feel like job interviews. People are also much quicker to look for a shallow encounter and then ghost without being honest that was their intention up front. Best of luck out there. Online dating is a shit show. There's almost nobody there looking for an actual relationship. Even if they are, they likely won't take the time to get to know someone because the next person is always right around the corner. I genuinely feel like online dating made me much stronger and more confident in job interviews, and I honestly credit it for nailing the interview that got me my current job. I was online dating right about the time I was actively interviewing, and the two skill sets are very similar. You need to emphasize making a positive first impression, make eye contact, ask thoughtful questions, demonstrate interest, not disinterested or overeager. Generally be willing to put yourself out there and handle rejection without taking it personally. At the end of the day, your goal is roughly the same. You want to build a connection to see if this is something you are interested in, and if yes, you want the other person to like you enough to take a chance on you. So hey, even if your date sucked, just chalk it up to building a skill set that could translate to your next job hunt. I think online dating is absolutely a shit show, but every time someone tries to be specific about its criticism, it's always nobody wants a relationship anymore, which just isn't true. Hooking up and casual encounters aren't a new development, no matter how many fried slop clips of Manosphere bros telling you women don't want to settle anymore, you're spoon-fed on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram. It doesn't explain why people are leaving online dating apps like Tinder and Hinge. The apps are almost universally owned by Match Group, who has gutted every app they own to the point of them simply being time wasters rather than apps that actually do what they're supposed to. OkCupid is a prime example of an app that was closer to a dating social network in the late 2000s to mid-2010s. Before Match gutted a bunch of features, made the app harder to navigate, made it impossible to search for people with specific interests, or search for anything at all for that matter, until we're left with a soulless, bare-bones gamified swipe app with poor UI. It's very, very similar to what's happening to Twitter and Threads, and usership is declining in all those apps because their business models are more focused on getting people to spend more time on the app instead of focusing on perfecting its utility for its users. All that matters to them is the average amount of time users spend on the app. Doesn't matter whether they're happy with it or get the results they're looking for. And the methods used are less focused on a pleasant user experience and more fixated on users struggling to figure out how to use it more effectively.
Just because someone is everything you want online does not mean that's who they are in person. Learn that the hard way, people can portray themselves however they want, and sometimes the real person is just a bundle of toxicity and anger problems.
This is why I meet as soon as possible. None of that texting for 2 weeks nonsense. Seriously, get a surface level feeling for them, then meet. Don't give yourself, or them, time to form deep-seated opinions about you, because when you don't meet them after talking online for a month, they're more likely to bounce you off. If you've only been talking a few days, it's easier to adjust opinions. People feel like they have more options than ever, which has led to people becoming even more selfish in how they treat dating.
I keep reading this argument, but I don't personally relate to it. Sure, there are a ton of people on dating apps, but the chance I have a real romantic connection with any one of them is slim, so I value that when I find it. Maybe people just find romantic connections easier than me. I find I don't like people that often. If you're just looking to get laid, then yeah, sure, there is another willing person out there.
Maybe not a dark truth, but a harsh truth that I'll probably get a lot of pushback on. Online dating or apps isn't that much more difficult than the dating landscape prior, old enough to have done both. Some of you are just expecting a perfect partner or are more insufferable than you'd like to believe. Had a bad date with someone you met online? That happened all the time back in the day. Got ghosted? Yep, happens often. Person was completely different than they presented? Oldest one in the book. You just heard the horror stories less. Edit. Boy, there sure are a lot of comments on this post proving my point. I got married young and haven't ever tried meeting somebody online, but my suspicion is this is pretty accurate. I would say one difference is it's probably harder to get your foot in the door. In terms of appearance, I married up, and if anything, that gap has increased over the years. My wife takes good care of herself, and she's objectively very attractive, even in the back half of her 40s. If all those years ago she was judging me against a bunch of other guys she was swiping through, I'm not sure I would have had a chance. It's become a lot more appearance-based than it was before. Swipe right or left if you think this person is hot enough, when sometimes the most attractive qualities someone may have can't be shown in a picture, and sometimes their ugliest qualities are hidden by pictures. Honestly, I think one of the dark truths about modern dating is you're not going to get a fair, generalized view into it from any person or any website, even yourself. I have experienced none of the things the dudes on this website complain about. Tinder is just bizarre with its examples of blatant sexual harassment being rewarded, and there are a ton of factors that will seriously change your experience. Attractiveness, height, location, gender, personality, etc. The dark truth is that you're going to get all of this advice from all kinds of sources, and a vast majority of it isn't going to apply to you, so don't even try. I'm out of the dating pool for about 15 years, but I still have sisters and friends who are single, and it is a battle. Men and women both bought the war of the sexes narrative, and very few people focus on being a decent human being. Everyone is shallow, women expect a retirement husband tailored to their needs, men expect a porn star also tailored to their needs. Getting to know somebody? Nah, let's swipe and hope for better luck next time. It is the law of minimal effort and maximum output. If you are actively dating and a girl tells you that they don't like you romantically but would love to be friends, move on. Women will use you as a source of validation while looking for something better. Don't fall into that trap, just move on. As a guy, I disagree. I have lots of female friends that we met originally as dates. You just got to learn to set your own boundaries. Even friendships should be mutual agreements. Most people are toxic even when they think everyone else but them is toxic. And I'm talking really bad. Best plan to be with someone good is to pray to God and be your actual best self and improve in every way you possibly can. Doing this will naturally attract better people. Also, focus on what it would take to be someone's dream guy or girl instead of looking for that perfect someone. It doesn't matter how liberal, progressive, and woke you are. You'll only get interested in knowing someone's personality after they've passed the beauty exam. Personality is super important, but no uglies have a chance to show how cool they are. 3 things. The first 3 months of a relationship do not count. It might sound awful, but don't fully trust anything the other person says or does for the first 3 months. And try not to let yourself get attached for the first 3 months. 3 months is about the maximum amount of time a person can maintain a facade before the dysfunction starts to show. You want to see who they really are, dysfunction and all, before you get attached to them. 2. Knowing someone in a non-dating context does not mean you know anything about what they are like in a relationship. If you date someone you've sort of known for a while, maybe through work or as a friend of a friend, approach it exactly as you would if you had no idea who this person is before the first date. Because of your pre-existing connection, you might be tempted to give them the benefit of the doubt whenever something seems a little bit off, reasoning that you've known this person for a long time and they were always great at work. They always seemed cool at social events, you have mutual friends, etc. Don't do that. Hold them to the same standard you would anyone else. 3. Don't date anyone whose ex is still a prominent figure in their life. Civil co-parenting is fine and keeping in touch with their ex occasionally is fine, but having a close relationship with their ex should be a deal breaker for you. You have to watch that you're not wasting your time or having your time wasted while simultaneously taking chances on people often enough that you can actually succeed. It's quite the skill to keep yourself from burning out and keeping doors open. Accepting that it is always going to take work, you can make it work with a lot of people, but that you can't always trust them to reciprocate even if they have good intentions takes a lot of wisdom. Voiced by Reddit Rabbit, thank you for watched. Don't forget to leave a like and follow us, it helps us grow.